Good morning, Hacksters! Welcome to another Tuesday Hackster Café. Today's guest is Goran Vuksic, who is an amazing roboticist. You've got 20 years of experience in the field, and you're a Microsoft AI MVP. You're running your own startup that aims to democratize AI, but it's called syntheticAIdata. I'm not going to tell your entire thing because I know you've got a whole thing that you're going to go through, but I think it's really cool that you're creating this company to make access to creating one's own data to train models much more equitable. So welcome, Goran. Would you like to kick it off?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks all for joining and for watching it later. And yeah, I'm super happy and excited to be over here. I'll start with a quick intro about myself. So originally, I'm from Croatia. I moved to Denmark like 9 years ago. Then 5 years ago, I moved just across the bridge to Malmo, Sweden. I was in Copenhagen. Copenhagen and Malmo are connected with the bridge. It's like 35 minutes commute. So I still work in Copenhagen, where I have my own company, as you mentioned. It is a startup, syntheticAIdata. We help companies train the custom vision models. I'll give you one example later. The mean, as you said, I have 20 years of experience working from small startups to enterprise companies, and had my own company previously in Croatia. Now again having my own company, and in 20 years, a lot of things happen. But who am I? I'm a tech guy who likes to write technical blog posts, who likes to experiment with technology, who likes to create many different things to learn, and afterwards to share and teach other people how to do the same. And because I'm doing so, I'm recognized as Microsoft AI Most Valuable Professional. This is a recognition that comes from the presenting Microsoft technologies a lot. I work with those technologies a lot and share my knowledge on these topics. I'm one of the organizers of Azure Skåne. Skåne is south part of Sweden. That is a meetup group we organize here in Malmo at least once a month meetup for the local community. And you can find me on LinkedIn. If Alex, you can pull up the slide, maybe people can follow me there. I'm not active on the other social media. You can from time to time find some YouTube that I post some example or something, but it's usually as a part of the blog post, and something that, for example, I create a project on Hackster and then post example for people to see. And what I usually post about are AI topics, IoT topics, different kind of interesting projects, and of course sessions where I present mostly around Europe. If you are around, feel free to join. Next one is coming now mid-June in Amsterdam, C3 DevFest, pretty interesting conference. So if you are around, I would be happy that you come and join see my session. It will of course be about my free time projects, and those are the Star Wars droids. So going a bit back, about my free time, where I think everything started, it was about hackathons. And for people who doesn't know, hackathons are those 24 or 48 hours developer competitions, usually over the weekend. Build a team, bring people, your friends, some different skills. Someone will do front end, someone will do back end, someone will play with electronics or whatever you are building, and let's build something fun or on some purpose. like with specific goal. Depends on the hackathon type. And
sorry, Goran, can I pause for just a moment? There's some kind of booming noise that keeps happening. I think it might be possibly hitting your mic or hitting the table or something. If you could just maybe pay attention, figure out what that is.
Yeah, I'll try to put microphone closer. If it happens again, maybe I can put my headphones. Will be better.
Oh, I think it's better now. It didn't happen in the last sentence you said. Thank you so much.
Okay, it's no idea what was going on.
Okay. Technology, it's been a theme this morning. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, always. So yeah, I was saying about hackathons, like there's always a lot of funny things happening, and like one of the interesting things is when people try to build some IoT project in only 24 or 48 hours. Like it's pretty hard and complicated. And with my teams, I did it several times on hackathons. It's always been fun, and I slowly started expanding that in my free time and paying more attention to IoT. This picture is from Germany some 7-8 years ago, approximately, when I was on stage presenting one of such projects. What we built over here, you can see, is electric guitar connected to amp over there. Here's in the middle is Alexa. Alexa was singing Rammstein, since we were in Germany, right? It was actually pronouncing the Rammstein lyrics. And Lego Mindstorm there was controlling the motors. So basically pressing the chords on the top part, and on the bottom hitting the strings and playing the song. Pretty fun thing to build in only 48 hours, I think we had, or something a bit less. So yeah, always had fun with these IoT projects and such. And I'm a big fan of Star Wars. First movie came out 1977, 3 years before I was born. And for many generations since then, so it will be 47 years, 25th of May, in 2 weeks from now. Wow. We just had Star Wars Day also. So for many years, it's been inspiration to generations, like all those lightsabers and space travels. But like one really cool detail is actually those Star Wars droids that appear in many shapes and forms. A lot of small droids running around doing something. They are super cute. And as technology now became really accessible, and we can basically buy a small computer like Raspberry Pi, I think it's around $35 US, right? That's basically super cheap. We can build those things in our environment, and I'll show you how I built some of those droids. So I'll start the story with the BD1 droid. I think it's been 2.5 years or something like that. When I built the project, I posted it on Hackster. It got featured. I was super happy about it. Then a year later, I built another one, posted. It also got featured. So obviously, I ended up here because you like my droids, and I'll do my best now. Thank you. I'll do my best now to present them. So this BD1 droid is imagined like it's a companion droid. And the idea behind it is like to assist in the dangerous locations across the galaxy, right? And the thing with it, like it appeared in Jedi Fallen Order and in Jedi Survivor. And it's super cute. It follows you around, has many features to use and such. And there was no surprise that Lego decided to create the set. It also appears in the book of Boba Fett, one BD droid from the series. It's not the BD1, it's one other, but all of them have those happy beeps, and we love them all, right? They are super cute and amazing. So, as I said, no surprise, Lego decided to build this Star Wars BD1 set, and when I seen it, I was like, yeah, I totally need to have this one, because I do have a lot of Legos, and also you've seen in that guitar example that I was using Legos to assemble some things together with IoT and stuff like that. So I decided to purchase this one. And quick fact about it, like it is a set of 1062 pieces. Height is 31 centimeter. Looks very real, but as any other toy, Lego toy, it is build and display, right? And you put it together, you put it on your shelf, and for me personally, that's boring. So I had to build this, add a bit of IoT to it, and I bought two sets. So the main reason was 31 centimeters, not really high, and I wanted to fit in the head of the droid some things like Raspberry Pi and servo motor to be able to move the head left, right, to add the display on the back, to add the webcam. That's a lot of things that needs to fit in the head. So I first of all had to be creative. But with two sets, I was able to start building it like a double size. It's not really double size that we could say 60 centimeters. Far from that. I got maybe 42, 3, something like that. You'll see later in the pictures. But the idea was to build this droid, to make it move, to use the webcam to recognize the objects, to have some display, and being able to interact with the environment. So first of all, I started building the legs, following the instructions, basically enlarging the droid, building them much bigger than they are in the manual. You need to use manual just for the instructions. Some people, when I posted the project, in the end reached out and asked for the Lego instructions. For me, it was impossible to write it down. I mean, the set has over 1,000 pieces. That would take 6 months to write down, and I'm using two sets even. So, like, you use manual as a guidance, something that will guide you. And I say to people, it's your droid. Like, build it as you like. Make it look nice. And as you start building it on your own, you figure out some things like, okay, it was not designed this way. Like you need to build legs that will be more massive, hold it better. Then you need to better balance it out, especially when you get to the part when you are building the head. It's much heavier than original set was imagined, right? So a lot of balancing problems over there, but like something you can sort out with enough patience. Idea was, as I said, to put the Raspberry Pi there. You can see it in the back, a bunch of wires here. In the front, below the red eye, there is a camera, just a simple webcam that was taken out of the plastic cover, right, and assembled here to connect to the Raspberry Pi, and one motor that was going on that went inside to control it. On the back of the head, I was using the Max 7219 display. It is this dot matrix LED display, right? 4x8x8 LEDs, and you can control it like individually, so you can light any LED that you like. It also has the brightness control, but brightness control is for the whole display, so you cannot have different LEDs with different brightness. All of them are the same brightness. But adding this to the back of the head looked pretty realistic, recreating the something how BD1 looks like. And slowly, assembling it, adding it, it started standing, right? So the main challenge was also to add the servo to it, to be able to move the head left and right based on what the camera sees in front. In the end, the schema was pretty simple, I would say. Like everything is there documented in my Hackster post. How you connect the LED, how you connect the servo, which pins you use, and pretty simple to connect those electronics. And once it was built, I recorded this video. I'll play it now, showing how it's working. So basically, here in the head, since we are using Raspberry Pi, we will take the picture with the camera, send it to endpoint, to backend, to Azure, process that picture to detect the object. I trained the model to recognize the R2D2. Here you can see the display on the Yes. You wanted to ask something.
Oh, I was just laughing. It was so cute. Also, I love your Java shirt there with, does that say recycle your droids?
Yeah, recycle your
That's so
droid,
good.
save the galaxy. Yeah. So this is display in the back of the head, and now I will show like this functionality when you when it takes the picture with the camera. Here you can see camera nicely, right? I'm holding the R2D2. Now camera takes the picture, process it, and positions the head toward the R2D2. Basically, like sorry, my slides here a bit. This is the part where you train the custom vision models, and that is also what I explained in the blog post. And this is something that my startup does, like how we can detect specific objects. You know, with those models out there, you can detect up to, nowadays, I think up to 10,000 different things. Like, okay, this is a chair, this is a table, this is a computer, right? But if you want to differentiate between between the Star Wars droids, for example, you would need to train the custom model. So yeah, it worked nicely. It got featured. I was super happy about it. And few months later, I don't know how, why, but like nowadays internet, you know, it's tracking us wherever we go, whatever we search, and things like that. And so always some ads are popping up. And I discovered the Droid division. This is one community on the Facebook. It is run by this nice guy, Dave Moog. He's a 3D designer, creating the STL files for the 3D printing. And he created a lot of them together with some other people, and they are available on Etsy shop. It costs only a few US dollars, and I always say to people, like, if you buy it, please don't share it. Like, they deserve to have a beer for the work they done, because they are watching those Star Wars movies, recreating all those robots and such. And yeah, I discovered this print club. I started browsing over there, and I was amazed what you can 3D print. Like it looked really really great. Before we go into this 3D printing story, just to explain the P droid. One droid that first appeared in this movie in '99 in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. The thing with this droid, if you look at it at the picture, it's pretty similar to BD1. So my initial idea was I could actually 3D print the droid and recreate the logic, putting the stuff in the droid head, so it could move around. And since it is 3D printed, it is solid, not like Legos. Legos fall apart. That's the main problem with Legos, and I often had to glue them and some things like that. Then you cannot disassemble them anymore, and a lot of challenges there. So I was thinking, like, yeah, I could 3D print it maybe, and put the same logic in the head, because in the front, in this eye, I could place the camera, and based on same logic, what droid will see, it will turn the head left, right, and later on I added also motor for the up and right. And P-Droid was perfect for that. I really liked it. First seen it 99. I remember going to cinema, watching that movie. Like in Star Wars world, they are imagined as this cheap and expandable droids, and they are designed for maintaining pod racers. Those are those fast racing starships, right? And they are 1.19 meters high and have this ability to fold into compact form. So basically, if you tap its nose, it will fall down, which is cute and funny. And they say, like, they were programmed with a sense of urgency. So basically, they don't have some really processing power to complete complex tasks. That's why they behave so funny in different situations. And first, I built it with the Raspberry Pi, and later on, I built it with NVIDIA Jetson. And that way, I was able to bring AI to the edge, to the head actually of the droid, being able to process the model in the head. I'll show you that a bit later. Here is one quick 3D rendering from the artist Andre Wachel. I found on the internet this how droid looks like, and here is a demonstration how it folds into this compact form, right? That's the idea behind Droid. And when I ran into Droid Division, I found this video, basically. Like someone 3D printed a lot of pieces, put it together, and in the end, they got the droid that is 1.2 meter high, ready to be painted, and like just head seemed big enough to fit all the pieces I needed inside of it. And I decided to reach out to Mr. Ermer Tuano. He's running this TD Outpost. He is a Star Wars fan, and you can find him on Instagram. He's 3D printing those droids, and he's also bringing them to a lot of Comic-Con conferences and such. At that point, I didn't have the 3D printer. I'm not much of the 3D printing guy. I'll show you why a bit later. I bought 3D printer at later point to be able to create pieces myself. But initial one, I ordered like this 3D printing service, received those pieces, and it was time for me to start building my droid. So first of all, the head, like I had to make sure that I'm able to fit everything in. There is this LED display that comes in front, where camera will be fitted in the center. I had to make sure that I'm able to fit NVIDIA Jetson or Nano in the head, 2 digital servo motors, and 1 Arduino display. And imagine like this droid is 1.2 meter high, so head is pretty big. Like there's plenty of space inside, which makes it really, really great. So with 3D printing, why it's not fun and why I don't like it? First of all, everything starts with sanding. 3D printers are not perfect. Like they are around for long time, but whatever you 3D printed, you need to sand it so it looks like smooth. And when you sand, it's microplastic that's flying around and you can breathe it in, so you need to wear the mask. And then if you are using paper, as I'm using over here, you'll figure out, yeah, nah, this will take like 100 years to finish it, so you need to buy a machine and so on. And it's a process. After that, you go into painting, which in my case, living in an apartment and doing this in my basement, it was a total mess, especially because I decided to paint it in 2 colors. Like, you need to sand it, put the base, paint it, then paint it again, and so on. But eventually, at some point, you start assembling things and things start to get the shape. So here are the legs first assembled. Then I added the torso to it, added the hands, so whole body, prepared the head of it, and in the end, put some electronics in the head. Here you can see the LEDs are turned on, and there is a camera in front of the LEDs over here. And now I'll play this short video. This was basically the first run, and Droid being able to raise the head up and down, which was cool and cute, right? So that was Hello World. At that point, I had a lot of pictures and descriptions which I assembled into the post. NVIDIA Jetson Orinara powered Droid, and posted on Hackster. Post got featured. NVIDIA reached out regarding the NVIDIA Jetson used and wrote a short interview with me. Me, the maker, developer, tops NVIDIA Jetson as force behind the powered Droid. So NVIDIA Jetson also has a great community where they share those projects. A lot of them are also on Hackster, like people write how to and such, and post it there. And yeah, NVIDIA follow-ups and shares the preview of that. So what I said I'm doing, I'm usually taking those droids to the conferences and sharing my knowledge about it, how to build one. And when people ask me, okay, how do you transport that to the conference, I usually say it's something you shouldn't do. First of all, like, you need to pack it in a bag that's big enough, right? And you need to go through the airport security control. So as soon as you like open the bag and remove this part, like remove the head, there's a bunch of electronics inside and wires and stuff like that. So if you see the guy with the long hair, tattoos, sweating there at the security because there's a lot of wires and weird Raspberry Pis and the NVIDIA Jetson sticking out of the bag, maybe it's, just a Star Wars fanatic, nothing else, trying to explain those guys there who are not expert in electronics, what is this about? But okay, when you bring it to the conference, like first you arrive to a hotel, you need to assemble everything again, which can be a funny process because you are not allowed to bring any screwdrivers on the flight. So you need to run, find some, buy them in the local store. You usually forget a bunch of things. It's also fun when you forgot to buy the pliers and convincing a lady receptionist, like, could I have some pliers? Like, no, we don't have that in a hotel. So that could be a challenge, but more or less, things get into the place. You assemble it, make it work, and you have that moment of happiness, like, okay, it's assembled, it's working again. This is my friend Sherry. She's a co-founder of my startup company, we often go to conferences together and speak together on stage about some projects. So she often joins me in this conference. We were speaking. She was demonstrating how to control the droid with neurosity gadget device. That's one nice gadget that you put on head, and it's measuring your brain impulses. So you can
Ooh.
think about some specific thought and turn on the droid and then move the head around and control it remotely, which is super cool. So you see here this moment of happiness. It's assembled, and then 5 minutes later you figure out, yeah, it's not connecting to hotel Wi-Fi, and here we go, a lot of fun. So even taking it, to from the hotel to the stage can be a funny experience. Not everybody's reacting like on the droid as something cool, like even the transport, like don't scratch my seats, things like that. But in the end we managed to get it on the stage, and this was in Azure Lowlands last year in Utrecht. I think it was in May or June. And Sherry over here, you can see she's wearing this crown on the back of her head, like controlling the droid. Now focusing to turn it on, and then it was moving the head. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah. Bit about like. I explained this more or less with BD1, but quickly here, Brain, you can use a Raspberry Pi, which is tiny desktop computer, right? And model for, I think it's around $35 now on the market. Pretty much the thing is same. If you use Raspberry Pi, you need to take the picture from camera, upload it somewhere, process it there, and get the result, and then position your motors based on that. Or you could use something more powerful. In this case, NVIDIA Jetson devices. The older one, Jetson Nano, price was around $100. I'm not sure is it available on the market still to as something you can buy. The old one has passive cooler on itself, so this is nice with the Ore Nano, that it has this active cooler, and since you are putting it inside of the plastic that you 3D printed, you don't really want passive cooler, so there's a lot of heat inside of plastic, right? So it's better to have active one. And this device is as written over here, it's Raspberry Pi on steroids. You are capable to train your model, put here on the device, and use the computer vision immediately. Basically recognize what's in front of camera and react on that without any delay. On Raspberry Pi, if you are taking a picture, uploading to the cloud and getting results, there's always second to delay to get the results back, right? So it acts a bit slower. So this is what I used. It's explained in my post on Hackster, and there is some code how you can do it. But like whenever I build those projects, I have in my mind that people might in the end build something differently, right? I build it for computer vision. Maybe nowadays you can easily use some voice to text. So basically you can speak with your droid and translate it into some commands to perform some actions, or you could use it the other way around, so droid will reply back to you. LLMs are pretty popular now. It's amazing what we can do with them, and there's a lot of options. So just a closer look at this device, like easy to find on the internet. Basically what we are interested in is this micro SD card slot that's below the cooler, where we flash our operating system put on this card, flip it in. Number 2, those 40-pin expansion header connectors, same on the Raspberry Pi, where we are connecting the devices. And number 4, you connect the power there. Then number 3 will be blinking. And here you have standard Ethernet port, USB ports, HDMI, sorry, not HDMI, display point connector, and you even have the standard camera connectors as on the Raspberry Pi. But in my projects, I was using the USB cameras because of better resolutions. And yeah, as we know, we need to connect something to power input, like either the red or yellow, depends, is it 5 volts or 3.3 volts, and we need to connect it on the other side on the ground, green ones, and with those white pins we can send signal to it, like okay, now it's connected to power, now I want to turn it on and off. Basically, this is how LED light work, right? We have this Arduino relay, which is 5 volts. It has connected LED lights to it and 3 batteries, and we connected it to the power, and with this yellow wire, we are just sending pin. Okay, switch it on, switch it off, and the light goes on, light goes off. Similar, pretty easy, and pretty easy also to implement in the code. Like this is a small Python example. I will not go into details, but it's super readable. You can import this GPIO, general purpose input output library, and you set the mode like how you want to address the pins, define which is the output pin, and then you say, okay, send 1 to output, and LED will turn on. Then like sleep for 2 seconds, then send 0 to output, and it will turn off, right? Super simple to control. Similar thing with servo motors. I'm in my P-Droid using this 25 kilos digital servo. One is used for the head movements up and down, the other for left and right. So basically you can position the head wherever you like, whichever direction you like. Also, quick example of Python code, defining the output pin and sending a command to move the head left or move the head right. Check out my posts. All the code examples are there with descriptions. If something is unclear, feel free to poke me in comments there. I'll try to reply as soon as possible. So connecting this is what I showed you, right? The LED is turned on, right? And we send the command to motor, go up, go down, and it's working. And in the front, as I said, I use the webcam. This simple off-the-shelf webcam first I found. You can use any other you like. For me, it was just, okay, I need something that's USB and plug and play. And this one I found suitable because of the eye. I could take it out, and it was pretty small and fitted perfectly in the head. And regarding the computer vision, how you want to use the camera, there's like many different ways. What I build is how to track the specific object, or how to track me detecting the person, right? Then positioning head toward the person. But like if we look at the Azure, for example, or you take any other cloud provider, I'm speaking about Azure because I work with it mostly. What we can do nowadays is this image analysis. Like we can recognize more than 10,000 of different concepts and objects. We can do the spatial analysis, figuring out, okay, if someone entered some kind of space, now perform some action. Also, we can do OCR. Maybe write something on the paper, show it to robot, and robot will react to that. Or some facial recognition to recognize you as the owner of that droid or something else. Like, possibilities are really endless. It's up to you and your imagination when you are building it, how you want to build that. And yeah, this is just from the Azure. Also, like Vision Studio allows you to quickly try and build those examples. Like they have this nice web interface where you can click around and try it out. Okay, I want to detect common object in images, or I want to detect faces in an image. So you can quickly build some examples where you process the image, figure out where the face is, and position your droid head toward the specific person. So what's next for my hobby projects? The thing is, like last year, somewhere end of year, Disney created duckling droids, and they are part of the Disneyland. So they are pretty cool. I suggest you check it out if you haven't seen them. They move on their own and they really behave like droids. They were also on stage with Jensen on NVIDIA GTC conference. They are presented and really cute and have this nice behavior. And what community is doing now is, of course, we are reverse engineering it, and I'm just another member of community trying to contribute to these things. So 3D files for printing are already available online. You can find them. People are developing different things. Like how this thing actually works is it's using two NVIDIA Jetson devices and a lot of other sensors. So, of course, Disney has unlimited resources to build a super fancy droid, but the community is trying to follow up, finding a cheaper way to make these ducklings, and they're really impressive. So before I went into 3D printing or anything like that, I decided to build a small prototype of the head powered by Jetson Nano, and I'll play you a small video. Like, I turned it on now, and it's using camera recognizing my head, light on, light off. Now look at me, it's waiting for input, and now detecting my finger where to position the head. So I like this human robot interaction, like and if I was programming the droid, this is how I would build it. So now at the moment I'm preparing myself to go into the 3D printing procedure. It will take some time, and then actually to start assembling the real thing. Over here you can see the head is built from paper, motors are inside, relays are inside. The camera is actually standing down there next to Jetson Orange, so it should be capable to have the camera and such. And hopefully one day, since they are actually walking droids, I'll be able to also recreate that. So this was it from my slides.
That is so cool. Thank you for sharing all of that. Oh, I love getting walked through it. I've read through the projects, but getting walked through the process by you is so cool. And I wanted to show just a couple of more links that people can check out. So first up, of course, there is the project that you shared. both of those projects. We've got the pit droid that you were just showing. There's the BD1 droid, and you've also got a bunch of other ones on your profile as well. You've got 2 other ones that are built with Lego Mindstorms.
Yeah,
So
this was something I was building for. There was a competition for Alexa, and was building it with my son
uh-huh.
for one winter holiday. I don't honestly remember now. Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 years ago. My kid is there now.
Right.
He's a teenager, being 16. So only I'm the one who's playing with toys. you know.
And then there's another cool one that people can check out. Definitely go
Yeah.
check both of these
Um,
out.
Percept thingy, Azure Percept. Unfortunately, Microsoft gave up from this device. It
Oh,
was the Edge device that was in the on the market for a short time, and then they gave up. Like with it, I built this self-driving car. So, but still, inspiration wise, like how to train something on the custom vision and things like that, you can, people can check it out.
definitely still stuff to learn from here. And as Goran mentioned, you can post comments, and he's actually very good at responding. So everyone, be sure to post questions in the chat. We had a cute comment saying that's one expensive head just to turn the head with sensors. But then almost immediately afterwards, you were showing like what all is going on inside the pit droid head that just like really makes it
Yeah.
like there's a reason for all those smarts. I had a couple of questions. So okay, first kind of a silly one. You've got a guitar in the background here. Do you play? I'm assuming you do. And have you ever thought about making like a musical droid?
It's actually based in, like, in my 40s I started
Oh,
a band. So yeah, it's a fun project with 2 of my friends where we meet on Wednesdays each week and play a bit of music and have a beer. And
awesome.
that is it. I said at some point, like, not all my hobbies can be with the computer. I need to do something else. So yeah, I'm I'm taking this Wednesday evenings off for this.
Awesome. Uh yeah, having like a variety of different interests is so important, and often they tend to like feed each other, like feed your brain in different ways. It's so good. You have some really nice schematics on your project, and I was wondering, are you using Fritzing or another program for this?
Actually, this was like as NVIDIA Jetson came out, and there was nothing on the internet, so I use Photoshop a lot, and
Oh
I had
wow,
to draw it. Yeah, for the Raspberry Pi, I found it online, but the NVIDIA Jetson one, I draw it. Maybe
oh,
there's even the source image on the GitHub. I'm not sure, but if someone needs it for any reason, just reach out. Yeah, I'll find it somewhere.
that is so cool. Um, let's see. So a little bit on your LinkedIn. So we didn't. I would love to dive in a little bit to your past. So okay, so we've got these cool links. Everyone check those out. One of those was submitted to the Lego Mindstorms Voice Challenge back in the day. Oh, we have a whole article comparing the Jetson Orion Nano Developer Kit to the previous Jetson Nano Developer Kit. I know the Orion one versus the straight up just Nano. In case people are curious, I believe the old Jetson Nano is still available, but I could be wrong there.
Yeah.
So on your LinkedIn, let's see, you mention a bunch of certificates that you've earned alongside a lot of more interesting stuff. But I'm just curious, as someone who didn't go through a traditional sort of route to technology, uh, what do you see as a career engineer as the benefit of certifications? Are you feeling like you're getting a lot out of those professionally? And would you recommend that people pursue certifications?
I would, but like, it's all about learning some topic, and certificate comes in the end just as the validation for that. And when you um, switch to another job, apply to some job that you are interested, it's always good to show, like, okay, yeah, I have
Uh,
so, and in 20 years, you see there's a lot. but whenever I find time and find it relevant, like I do try to get certified in some topics.
Cool. I'm also curious, I promise I won't grill you too much, but one of your early ones from 2018, so like 6 years ago, is this Fundamentals of Deep Learning for Computer Vision from NVIDIA. And I was curious about, so you have a lot of software in your past, you're building hardware now. What was that transition like for you? And did it come through AI? Are there other things along the way where you were like, I really want to like tinker with hardware? Like, how did that happen?
I think that Star Wars were always in back of my head, you know, how those droids could work actually, and computer vision and things like that. Yeah, I mentioned Photoshop. I mentioned computer vision. I'm a visual guy. I need to see things too. If you are in meeting with me, I'll be always drawing on the board something like this here, this there. So things like that. And then transition actually, first bigger project that we built, I worked some 7 years ago or something like that for one startup that is like Instagram like, just to focus on tattoos. So it's for tattoo artists and tattoo lovers, like to share the pictures. And we in free time, me and the friend, we created one. Yeah, that's the one. We created the AI project to be able to recognize tattoos and like to categorize them in different categories. Like, is it a tribal tattoo? Is it Japanese? This and that. And then yeah, we wrote a blog post and it went viral. It ended up on the next web. NVIDIA called the next day, have you trained that on our GPUs? Yes, we did. And they wrote a blog post and things like that. So we were pretty much surprised by all the buzz we suddenly made. And yeah, the reason there was, we had like, if I remember correctly, it was something like 300,000 images that we can train on. And that was our huge benefit, like who has such a database of tattoos, right? Unless you have a super popular app that is where people are posting. So we could do it back then. And yeah, slowly over time, like being looking into this topic, even though more of my professional career in the last few years I spent with data, and I think there's no surprise why today I'm running a startup that is about synthetic data, right? For
Yeah.
vision training. So that's the thing. But like with technology nowadays, we can create so many simulations of the real world and then train our robots based on those simulations, which is pretty cool.
Awesome. And coming back to your company, you mentioned that you're part of two different programs. And first up, this is interesting to me that you're part of two different ones and that there's not like a conflict there. It's cool that you can do both of those. And I'd love to hear a bit about what these programs bring to you as a startup founder. So we've got Microsoft for Startups and then the NVIDIA Inception program. So
yeah. So Microsoft startups, I would highly recommend to anyone if you are trying to build some cloud-based application or something. You can apply to program even with the idea. So I have idea to build this, I don't know, new social network or some AI service in the cloud. And the thing is, they have four stages. With idea, they will most likely accept you if you fill in everything correctly, and you will get 1,000 of US dollars of Azure credits. Then if you create your landing page and LinkedIn page, you will get 5,000 credits. Then if you register the company, you are moving to the third stage where you have 25,000. And last stage 150,000 is when you are ready to go to market. So basically that is over the period for 2 years, and you can build in cloud using their resources as much as you like. And it's really cool, valuable program. Beside the Azure credits, you are also getting their expert support, like a network of experts from Microsoft or MVPs and such, where you can reach out with questions. There's a lot of licenses from the Office and a lot of those third-party bonus credits offers and such, where you can that you can use. GitHub, for example, you get the enterprise for 2 years, Visual Studio and Power Apps and so on. So
Very
pretty
cool.
cool. If you want to build a startup, go for it. Like Microsoft is not the only one offering such. Google also has its own offer. I can't recall for what AWS has, but they also do. So pretty much all those big cloud providers can give you something. Over here, I found it like really amazing that okay, I applied with idea and they accepted it. Then me and my co-founder slowly started building this and that, and yeah, it's some 2 years later, here we are running a small startup, but it's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so the NVIDIA Inception one, what's the difference with that program?
This is a program from NVIDIA. In case you are using their devices or you are using their GPUs in the cloud, you can be part of the program. They will give you some also cloud credits. They will give you some different benefits, like you can purchase hardware with the discount, and you can access their how it's called, just a second to recall, NVIDIA learning platform. Cannot recall now. Their learning platform to get certificates there. So it's also really nice to develop your company, also develop yourself, or develop the people that work for your company to have access to the Deep Learning Institute, DLI. That's how they. Yeah, it took a bit to recall, but
Cool.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing about that. And I know we're almost out of time here, but I would love to ask you one more question since we're dealing with AI. There's this new story just out from TechCrunch like a couple of days ago where Microsoft has put a restriction on how their enterprise AI tools can be used. And I'm curious, in all of AI, there's always this question of ethics, and I'm curious about what thoughts, like how this affects your personal practice, if it does, and what your personal thoughts are on just the area of ethics in AI. I know it's a broad topic, but
yeah, it is, but I'll keep it simple because I often answer to this question, actually. The thing is, like, I don't know, 10 or more years ago, we got introduced to GDPR, right? And no personal data should be used on the web and such. And now with some policies, like here in Europe, EU AI Act is coming up, also saying that we shouldn't be using the personal data for the training. And this is where actually synthetic data is really useful, because running the simulation of some environment, you can use those synthetic people, not real people, and then create still accurate models that recognize it nicely. Yeah, thanks for showing my startup company landing page. It is all about creating data at the scale, having enough of images to train the models, computer vision models, like to be able to recognize the different tasks. And as you can see here, we also mentioning inclusive and ethical AI, because that's definitely the topic that is hot nowadays. So yeah.
and privacy centric. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything you'd like to throw in there before anything we didn't get to that I'm going to go back through a bunch of the links that we looked at, but yeah, anything you'd like to say is wrapping up?
As wrapping up, may the force be with you.
Of course. All right, cool. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Check out Goran's projects as shown on Hackster. Also these cute ones that we didn't there's plenty more to explore. LinkedIn, we've got synthetic AI data. There's a really fun blog post that you wrote on LinkedIn about learning leadership from Darth Vader, which everyone should go check out. Next time we'll talk about that. And then, of course, these guys, you can find links to these in the description. We talked about droid division. Goran brought up this person who also makes lots of droids. And yeah, so that's most of the stuff that we covered. Be sure to check out the links in the description for all that good stuff. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, Goran, for sharing your story and your expertise. Best of luck with synthetic AI data. Obviously, everyone go check that out and hack on.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cheers.